Hey guys, it's Ivy, and today I am here with another Q&A, this time celebrating 500 followers on Instagram. That is such an amazing accomplishment, and I want to thank you guys so much for that. It truly means a lot to me. And to celebrate, I arranged a giveaway, and so at the end of this Q&A video, we will be drawing the winner of that giveaway. And if you hear any background noise throughout this video, I apologize. My window is open because it's so pretty out today, so I didn't want to have them closed. So if you hear a lot of chirping or mowing or any sounds like that, that's what that's from. So let's jump into the Q&A. Our first question is, what was your first LPS set you ever got? And that would be this G4 collector's set from Toys R Us. I don't remember what year it was, I just remember that it was like the year right before Toys R Us closed or around that time. But these were the first LPS that were ever gotten for me. And I do still have some of them actually. That ties into another question we got, which was also, what's the first LPS you remember getting and around what time did you get it? The next set that I distinctly remember getting was a set that I bought for myself, and it was these G5 pet pairs. And I still have both of them. I only have one of them here with me right now. The other one is at my mom's. But I got these guys, and I don't remember when that was, but obviously it was when G5 pets were out. But yeah, I named them Brian and Matt. And Matt is the one that I have with me right now. These LPS, they were like my first boy LPS, so I literally used them for everything. They were getting all the girls, man, okay? All the girls. Next question, favorite LPS series? Honestly, I have so many of them that is really hard to narrow down. But I will say, like, some of the most influential ones were probably like some of the first that I watched on LPS Tube. And those would have been like My Hopeless Romance by Fun Group Productions. More Than That by Ali LPS TV, I believe was her username. Stuck Together by LPS Ace. Of course, Experiment 42 by LPS Ace. Red Lights by Gary Berry, or Jerry Berry, whichever you say it. I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong. I also really enjoyed the series Chloe's Secret. I don't remember who that was by, but I know that she deactivated her account. But someone else re-uploaded the series, so you can still watch it. But yeah, those were probably some of my top favorite LPS shows. I love this next question. What's your favorite LPS eye shape? The flowers and teardrops, honestly. Like on these two pets, I just think that they make them look so sweet and they're just adorable. You know, not as simple as a dot, but they're also not too much, so they don't really stand out. But yeah, the flowers and teardrops are definitely my favorite eye shapes. This next one is, what is your favorite custom LPS and what paint do you use? So this lamb is my current favorite LPS custom that I've made. I just think that she's so sweet and just so precious. And I also just love the lamb molds, but I especially love her eyes. I think they just turned out so pretty. But for this custom and for others, I use apple barrel acrylic paints. I've also started using model paints, like for D&D models, model cars, etc., etc. But I haven't used those enough to really form an opinion on them yet. They're okay. I'm not dedicated to solely using them. I'm still really sticking with the acrylics. So Apple Barrel brand is what I typically use. Another question is, what is your biggest pet peeve with collecting LPS, and do you have an inspiration that keeps you collecting? I think probably my biggest pet peeve when it comes to collecting LPS is people who only ever want to debate on the value of a pet, and just really price gouge them and everything. Like, certain pets are rare and are worth more, like there's Comic-Con exclusives or, you know, exclusives to other countries. That makes sense for them to be a little more pricey, a little more sought after. But I really don't like common main 5 pets that you can find literally anywhere are costing like up to $50 or more, and it's solely because they're a main 5 pet. Stuff like that really annoys me and really bothers me, because it's like, let's not pretend that when these pets first came out, they weren't like $10 at most. And at the end of the day, they are pieces of plastic and toys. Like, I love my collection. I love collecting LPS. I do agree that some pets are worth more than others. But I think that the current LPS market kind of takes it to the extreme, and that's a really big pet peeve for me. But the inspiration that like keeps me collecting in spite of that is knowing that there are other collectors in the community who feel the same way. And there are those of us who collect solely because we love LPS, not because we're out to make a profit. And if you wait long enough, you will find the right person to make a deal with, and that will benefit both of you and be fair to each other. And so that just keeps me going. For every negative experience I've had in the community, I've had even more positive ones. So it balances out. And then we have another, what was your first LPS? So I will answer that with my first G2, G3 LPS. It was these two kittens and this sitting cat. I got them at the same time, bought them off of eBay, and they were my first old authentic LPS. And then this one, who was your first main? If you mean my first main 5 pet, that was Brooke, short hair 339. She is like the first main 5 pet I got because one of my friends gave me her childhood collection and Brooke was in there. So super happy about that. And if you mean who was my first main mascot, that was the white short hair with green eyes. I don't remember her number, but I'll look it up and put it on the screen with a picture of her here. She was my first mascot. And then this girl right here, MLA, she was my next one. And now I also have this custom pet that I'm using as a mascot. Favorite part about the community? My favorite part of the LPS community is trading. Honestly, I just think it's so wholesome. Like, we are all just out trying to find the pets that we want, and we're just swapping with each other. I have a pet I want, I have a pet you want, and then you just swap with each other. And I just think that it's really cute and really wholesome, and I honestly love it because it's a really good way to get LPS too without spending so much on it. And I just love the trade community, and I love that we give each other little freebies with every trade. Like, it's just very wholesome to me. What's your favorite part about restorations? So I only recently got into LPS restorations, but what I'm liking about it so far is that I feel like it makes it easier to get new pets and not have to worry so much about the condition that they're in. And it's also a little bit easier to find pets for better prices because if you get them damaged, they're obviously going to be a little bit cheaper than a perfect mint condition one. And so I like that because, one, if I get a pet and it's more damaged than I thought it was, or there was damage that occurred that the other person didn't show me, I'm disappointed, but not as disappointed as I would be otherwise because I know that I can fix it. So I really like that. And I also like being able to help others fix up their pets because it's just really nice to be helpful like that, and I just think it's a good skill to have. What sparked your love for LPS? Probably LPS Tube, which I found my way there through MLP Tube. I started out with My Little Ponies more. I was more of a My Little Pony kid growing up. But through MLP Tube, I found LPS Tube, and that really sparked my love of LPS, and then I really wanted to collect them, but unfortunately, we were at G4 and G5 by that time, so I missed out on getting the older pets in stores, but we're making up for that now. How long have you been collecting LPS? So I started collecting the G4, G5s, like I said, and then also G6s. I did collect those when they came out, so when I was a kid. But I only recently got into collecting older gen LPS in 2025, I think in May, and that was because my friend, like I mentioned, gave me a bunch of her childhood pets, and so she kind of started my collection, and then through there I got into trading and everything and worked on getting pets that I wanted into my collection. So I've only been like seriously collecting for, I think it's almost been a year now, honestly. And then there was another question with that one. Do you have a favorite pet? I do. So these 3 girls right here were the LPS that I absolutely had to have when I was younger. Like, they were my ride or die pets. I just thought they were so beautiful and I had to have them. And then also this short hair is right here. These were like my top 4. So these girls are all my favorite pets right here, and my top 2 favorite pets, because they're kind of tied, would be this collie and dachshund. They're probably my absolute favorite pets. And then, what's your favorite LPS mold? I would have to say German Shepherds. because I have more of them than any other pet right now. I just think that they're so cute and so precious, and I need more. I need all of them, honestly. So those would probably be my favorite mold. And then, what made you join the LPS community? So I answered this in my previous Q&A, but I will basically explain it again. So obviously I was invested in LPS tube and stuff as a child, but what made me get into the LPS community was my friend giving me a bunch of her LPS because I was so excited to get them, and I was like, well, I don't want them to just sit around in a bag or anything. I should do something with them. And then I was like, well, when I was younger, I always wanted to have an LPS account, so why don't I make one? And that basically got me started on LPS TikTok, and then we switched on to LPS Tube, and now I'm also on LPS Instagram. And one last question, what's your favorite LPS series and non-LPS series? So I already answered the favorite LPS series one, and then favorite non-LPS series. Again, that's difficult. I'm very indecisive. But some of my top favorite series would probably be like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I really like the nanny sitcom, Golden Girls. I like The Munsters, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, things like that. I don't know. I don't. I watch a lot of TV shows, but they're always the same ones. I just watch the same ones on repeat. Also, The Amazing World of Gumball. I watch that way too much. But those would be some of my top ones. And that is all the questions for the Q&A, so now it's time to draw the winner of my giveaway. And there we have the winner of our giveaway, so I will be messaging them to get the shipping details, and if for any reason they fail to respond and it doesn't work out, then we will draw a new winner. But thank you so much to everyone who participated, and again, thank you so much for 500 followers on Instagram. That is so, so amazing, and thanks for watching!